Hello and welcome to Chip Advisor. Yes, hello there. I'm Phil, and this is Chip Advisor. Today we are talking about pumpkins, and I am here with this man.
Harry, where's Harry? Harry!
How are you, Harry?
I can't hear any of the music, so I
No,
didn't
nor
know
can
who
I. Are you
were
recording on your
talking
phone
to.
as well, Harry?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't hear the music, but that's okay.
that's fine. So you're just going to have to give us some sort of cue as to the relevance of the music, but that's fine. We'll carry on. I am okay. We started a small DIY project in our kitchen on Monday, which resulted in our whole house being covered in dust. Which benefit is unforeseen benefits. That's what I'm trying to say. Was that do you guys use a hair product called powder?
I don't use any hair product. I do know of powder though. I think I did buy some, but I don't use it. You might be able to tell. Lewis, what about you?
Using all the products.
Yeah. Mike, I'm looking at you. Do you use hair powder?
I don't, but it has become quite vogue with the uprising of Turkish barbers over the last few years.
Yeah. So the last time I was in the barbers, which was a little while ago, as you can probably tell, there was young people, and I use that term quite loosely.
Yes, I've heard
having this powder. Anyway, so the point of my anecdote is that our whole house got covered in dust because I don't ever actually prepare anything properly, but my hair has become voluminous. And I think it's the dust. So you don't need expensive product. You just get a bit of brick dust and just sprinkle it in the old hair, and it is voluminous. Anyway, I'm sure everyone wanted to know that, but yeah, apart from that, I'm absolutely fine.
I did have a theory about Turkish barbers, and it might be slightly generalizing, but like the government got no money, or was really struggling, got no money. If they just happen to surprise a few Turkish barbers by turning up and asking to see their accounts, they'll probably get some revenue.
This has taken a turn, and not from the person I was expecting.
I'm yet to go to a Turkish barber's who doesn't insist on cash payments, and we all know what that is.
I think that's barbers in general, because there's only one in the town where we live near, Lewis. I would say we as in Lewis and I, and there's only one barber's which I go to that takes card. So I think everyone's at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years since I've been to the barbers, but I felt barbers and churches were the last bastions of cash. I don't think there's anywhere else. It's just barbers and churches. Cash only, thank you.
Bold bastion. Yeah.
Does the church pay tax? This is an interesting question.
On what?
I don't know. Just in general.
Don't get defensive, Lewis.
I mean, they're the
We don't pay tax on we don't pay tax on the gifts of cash that are given to us.
What about all your halls of profits?
All our hoards of profits, I keep them safely squirreled away in the rectory.
Who knew that we were going to start the podcast today by saying what's the similarities between the Church of England and Turkish barbers?
There you go. Yeah. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and because Harry brought it up, I thought I'd share my views.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, neither of them contribute to tax in our society. But
that's why Lewis wears baggy trousers, because of all the wads of cash he has to carry about with him.
Exactly that. It's just like to find peace.
Also here today, before we end up in a lot of trouble, is this man.
No, Michael, that was so not right.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Just in the midst of a cheese and Marmite toasty for the first time ever.
Oh, Marmite doesn't. What?
Well, I'm home alone and I'm experimenting.
Yeah, go again. I would. like cheese and Marmite as a combo is nice, but as a toasty, you want some substance in there, don't you? Like beans.
Well, it's been all right. I mean, people do have just plain cheese toasties, don't they?
No,
I imagine
but...
Harry's a big fan. I mean, Harry has a butter toasty, but Harry like a cheese toasty?
Cheese and ham toasty if I'm making
Cheese
one,
and
but
ham.
I don't often make them. I just think to myself, I'll just have a cheese and ham sandwich, quite frankly.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Fine.
It's sort of working.
I mean, the sound effects are very nice.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
can I ask, did you do it in the air fryer, or is that beyond its capabilities?
No, you know, I love an appliance, so it was in the actual sandwich toaster.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, talking of appliances, isn't it an appliance? I think so. I'm hoping that there's groups, like air fryer people like you, Mike, like to chat air fryers with other people who have got air fryers, and you love saying, "Oh, I love air fryers. It's so
I love
great.
nothing
It
more."
changed my life." Yeah. So yesterday we got a dehumidifier, and we got one that we got a half decent one. I can control it on an app. It's mad. And it is insane. I had it running for like 2.5 hours in the lounge. 600 milliliters of water. I've practically been swimming around my lounge without realizing it.
Did you?
How's there that much water?
Did you buy it on Amazon?
Why?
Because they don't pay taxes either.
ah.
But they do accept credit cards.
Yes.
Do accept credit cards? Yeah.
So if you've got a drink on the go,
Yeah.
does it soak that up?
Well, this is what I'm wondering. So my wife yesterday said that she felt like she was drying out. She didn't like become raisin-like, but she had to have a bath to go and absorb some more water.
So what has prompted this decision to suck all the moisture out of the air in your living room?
Because of my wife's insistence, despite me claiming otherwise, that clothes will not dry outside in winter, which is I'm all for trying that. She likes drying clothes indoors and making the walls all damp. So this has got a laundry mode, and it just goes.
Wouldn't it just be easier to get a tumble dryer?
We've got one of them in the garage,
right?
But I just can't really be bothered to go to the garage all the time. So it's just better I can control it, like I say, by the phone. Just beep, job done. Get it on laundry mode.
Anyway,
so
Lewis is here.
If anyone wants to talk to me about dehumidifiers, then great. Oh, Lewis, did I not introduce you?
No.
Oh, it's because of the themes issue. Oh, gosh. We're here with Lewis. How are you, Lewis?
Blessings, friends and listeners. What a surprise. I'm here. It's like I've been hiding in the background. I am all right. I have harvest fatigue. I've just completed my 8th harvest festival of the year, but I can officially say that we are now done, and I'm celebrating.
All right.
So that's 8 Sundays in a row you've done harvest festivals.
So Sundays / school assemblies.
Oh, okay. You putting that down as work, are you? Not just
on his tax form.
On your day off,
or you're just taking cash for those services.
Cash only is the vicar's payment.
Can I just check? So what happens now? Do you get straight into planning for Christmas?
Christmas is done.
Right.
Christmas
is done.
Well,
hey,
Christmas as in when things are happening are done, but any of the other plans. No, we're now into Remembrance Day is the biggie on the horizon.
At this time, obviously we're talking about pumpkins at some point today, Lewis. Remembrance on the horizon. No alternative to Halloween, because I know certain churches are big on that. They love a light party.
No, not a big fan of a light party. We've got All Souls, All Saints. I stick to the classics.
Okay.
Never ever. Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Halloween not a religious festival then? All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve is the day before All Saints Day.
Yeah.
All Hallows Day. Yeah. So it marks the lead into All Hallows Day.
Yeah.
So why aren't you cashing in on that a bit more as a church?
We're cashing in on it.
Well,
Yeah,
Christmas, obviously, you're getting everyone through the doors for Christmas for a few carols.
Yeah.
Easter, we'll rock up because there'll be some chocolate eggs to hunt in the churchyard.
Yeah.
Why aren't we bigging it up on All Hallows?
Well, we do tend to have quite a lot of All Souls services, which is that day, but it's not really one to cash into. At All Souls is the one where people come and remember the faithfully departed, those who have died this year. So
when's that?
That's November the 2nd. It's the day after All Saints' Day.
Right.
I'm so confused because I found out this week that Halloween is on the same date every year.
You found that out this year?
What?
I only found out this week. I didn't realise. I just knew it was around November time, but apparently it's October. So I thought it was something to do with remember the 5th of November. I got all very confused, but I only found out this week.
Mad?
No,
you are 40 / approaching 40, presumably, and you've never realised that it was always on the 31st of October.
I had no idea. No.
Did you not go to youth club? Surely something's happened that you've. Oh dear.
I mean, you have a lot of visitors every year on the 31st of October.
No, you don't have visitors. You put out a sign that says
"Baby sleeping."
You have a lovely evening, but baby sleeping. Yeah. Which was
when
genuinely
do
true
you put
for a
that
number of
sign up,
years.
Phil, every year?
January the 1st,
July through June.
But obviously I know when it's the day. I see it's the day because people are harping on about it all the time. But I don't know. It's not like Christmas Day where I brought up to know when Christmas Day was. I did used to go trick or treating when I was a child, but I would just. Yeah, I remember. Well, a couple of occasions going trick or treating. One with a fake leather AFC Bournemouth bum bag, which I filled to capacity.
It does sound terrifying.
Yeah, I wasn't just wearing that. I was wearing a bin bag over the top.
The costume.
Yeah, I mean that would be that would not be a trick or a treat.
Fortunately, you're doing it in July, so you were quite warm. But
I was just knocking on doors, but I think it's changed a bit. Certainly in our village, I can't speak for your village, but certainly like when I was younger, you put a bin bag on your head. There'd be a few thugs who would be taking around eggs and flour and stuff, and but most of us, you put a bin bag on your head and you knock on literally every door.
Right, you keep using that phrase. Put a bin bag on your head. What does that mean?
Well, it's a costume, isn't it? It's a costume.
What do you just try to suffocate yourself?
Well, no, you make a hole for your head to go through it. Sorry, yeah. Don't.
Right, so you're wearing a bin bag. Okay.
What were you going as, Phil?
Because
a human bin bag.
Because you're doing a year 8 recycling project at fashion show, so you put on a bin bag.
Well, that's what it pretty much looked like, right? So, but we used to knock on every doors, and we wouldn't scare anyone because we just looked like I was more scared of the person in the house than they were of me because I wasn't intimidating, unlike these days. And then
was the illusion meant to be that you were a floating head?
No, it was just can I have some sweets? That's all. Can I have some sweets? And in those days, sometimes old people used to give you cash to go away. I mean, in hindsight, it's awful. But nowadays, I think people only knock on houses where they got like a pumpkin outside or something like that.
Yeah, because that earlier memory sounds very much akin to the mafia.
It's often I get compared to the mafia, but you know what? The last time I went trick or treating, I was in year 6, and I went out with the other brother, the one that can't be named, and we went round and we would go.
What was he wearing?
Oh, we were both bin bags. I'm sure.
Bin bag brothers,
right? The bin bag brothers.
See a wrestling name.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go around, you get loads of free sweets. But he stitched me up because my year 6 teacher, I didn't know where she lived, and he said, "Oh, you could do this one." And he kind of left me to it, so I knocked on the door, only to see my tutor answer the door, and I was horrified.
Should we give her a name check?
Mrs. Williams, and used to live in Camel Green Road. Don't think she does anymore.
Irene.
But, Irene.
Yeah, Irene
was
Williams.
That her name?
Yeah.
Used to teach IT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not.
I mean,
Probably not when
anyone
you
could teach IT back in those days. It was literally
Yes.
turn it on and type.
I remember a program vividly called Touch Type. Touch Type.
Yeah.
And used to.
Anyway,
So I knocked on her door.
She wasn't horrified at you in your costume. You were horrified that you'd opened the door is open and your teacher is.
I was horrified that my teacher was there. She was annoyed that I had dressed up in a bin bag and knocked on her door and interrupted her evening.
Right.
So I never went again in case Kev was... So then I just walked home because I didn't want Kev to stitch me up and get me to knock on another teacher's door. It was horrendous. Anyway, any of you been trick-or-treating in the past?
Don't like it, mate. Don't like it as a concept.
No,
I don't like Halloween. I'll put it out there. And it's not, and actually it probably is based loosely on a evangelical Christian upbringing. But I don't really understand what we're celebrating. We're celebrating like ghosts and ghouls and dark stuff, and I don't particularly, I'm not really into that. And
Or bin bags.
If it's about saints or souls, I think, yeah, okay, cool, that'd be nice. But it's not really about that, is it? It's about trying to be as gory as you can, or as
just getting some sweets.
Yeah, or just getting some sweets. I quite like the new digital age. I think, there are Facebook groups where people say, come to our house, we've got sweets, and people have to put a pumpkin outside and then you knock. I think that
they're not legal.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to go to those websites.
Oh, okay, fine, my mistake. But yeah, I just don't like Halloween. I quite like fancy dress as long as I don't have to do it. I quite like the fun of seeing everybody else do the fancy dress thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot right on the run up to it on the old socials. There's a lot of mainly women sort of showing you how to do your Halloween makeup and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
And can you imagine if Phil, you could start one of those. You could say, what we're going to do today for Halloween is we're going to get the bin bag, cut a hole in the end, stick it on, and voila. And oh yeah, you'd get thousands of followers doing that. Forget the belts and all your new social media videos on belts. You could just do your Halloween bin bag.
Yeah, if you've not seen the social media sensation that is Ashford Ridge, then do check it out. Lots of pictures of Phil with belts.
Well, there's not actually lots of pictures of me with belts, and it's not me doing that. We've got someone doing that now.
What, you got the sack? Oh, that's sad.
No, but you would have seen the standard.
Got the sack, put it over his head.
Yeah.
Pumpkins.
Yeah, because you could bring out a Christmas video as well, and it'd be Santa's sack that you're wearing, rather than.
Come on, Phil. Tell us a little bit about pumpkins. I'm sure you've done some research.
They're not called pumpkins, that's for sure. That is what I've learned. I just one bit of admin. I did hear your tea episode because I had to edit it. Mentions of me being put away due to crimes against quizzes.
Yeah.
And then, ironically, you decided to play T or T as a quiz. Anything you'd like to say?
Well, I was a bit annoyed with myself, really, because I wanted them to say, it was cup of tea, and then in the end, I'd go, well, no, actually, it was golf tea. So I was a bit annoyed with myself. Yeah, there was a great. Anyway,
don't knock it. I was very good at it.
You were very good at it.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, because I'm back this week at least, and I've got a better quiz than that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, it's great to have you back, Phil. It's great to have you
back.
back.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Taking 20 minutes for you to say that.
Right.
So how much?
And you had to bring the subject up yourself.
Yeah. Sadness. So, where do you think pumpkins came from, Lewis? You know everything.
Where did pumpkins come from?
Originate? Where did they originate?
Let's think. Egypt.
Okay, you think that looks like good pumpkin growing territory?
No idea. Just it feels like most things that you suggest come from somewhere like that.
Okay, Harry, you'll know this because of your gardener.
Yeah, well, I do kind of know this, but it's either North or Central America.
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, what annoys me about this is they say the oldest pumpkin seeds have been found in Mexico and date back to somewhere between 7,000 and 5,500 BC.
They've counted
Yeah.
the rings, haven't they? They've counted the
Yeah, I
rings.
mean that's quite a vague. This is why I don't trust carbon dating. That's quite vague. And then they say, but they believe that pumpkins originated 9,000 years ago. On what basis? What? Why? Why do they believe
Fossils.
that? Well, no, because they say that pumpkin seeds have been found 7,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, that'll be in the innards of some sort of ancient animal they found in a bog somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I guess we'll find. We'll never know, I suppose, because we won't delve that much into the research. But Harry, I'm coming to you.
Sorry. Can I just sorry point out there that I've just proved you wrong? So you've decided to very quickly get off the subject.
We haven't. You haven't proved me wrong at all. You haven't proved me wrong
Anyway,
at all.
sorry,
You had
question.
no. You had a theory that
Yeah.
might be why they're saying 9,000 years, but that isn't
Yeah.
factual. They haven't
No.
said we found something from 9,000 years ago. They found something from 7,000 years ago.
Yes. Fair
So
enough.
your theory has not
We've only,
proved
all
me
right,
wrong.
all right. We've only just got you back. We don't need to go off again.
What's 2,000 year between friends?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. Okay. So Harry, I believe
Yes.
they are a gourd, part of the cucumber family.
Yeah. Squashes and gourds. Yeah, there's like the cucurita or something like that. I can't remember now from my.
Cucurbitaceae.
Yeah, that's it. Cucurbita,
Thank
but they yeah, so they're all part of the same family. If you look, I mean, it's actually the plants that look the same. If you look at a cucumber plant and a pumpkin or stroke squash plant, they're very similar.
Now,
so is this where the word gaudy comes from? When something's sort of a little bit OTT and is it gaudy?
Who knows?
Yes, why not? Well, you get a range of colours, so it could well be.
Just thinking we could have a game of gaudy or gaudy.
Well, we won't be doing that.
No, okay.
So pumpkins are squashes, and squashes aren't pumpkins. So squashes is a sort of general term for all of those gourds and pumpkins and squashes, which I think are they're all pretty horrible. But in the original sort of wild gourds that grew, they weren't actually very nice to eat at all. They were very bitter and they would make you sick. You would eat the seed.
Yeah. Well,
the actual flesh was horrendous.
Yeah, you get those now, sort of inedible gourds that are just used for decoration at autumnal festivals, harvest festivals, Halloween, as I learnt on the Archers this week, you've got to call it Spooky Day now. Not actually allowed to call it Halloween, but anyway.
Really? It's like on Animal Animal Crossing. They have like Bunny Day instead of Easter because they don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. So these gourds. So the old ones. I don't know about new ones. You might be able to tell me, Harry. The skin on them effectively turned into wood if you carve them out, and then people used them. They used them to carry stuff around. They carved them out and used them as a container because they went rock hard.
That is interesting because these days, when you go trick or treating in your black bin bag, you actually get sort of pumpkin shaped receptacles that go round and collect all your sweets in.
You do,
rather than your leatherette bum bag.
Yeah,
Can I just ask, as your son, because your son is called Hal, has he played on the whole Halloween thing?
He did have a Halloween. Well, hold on. Well, do you want to ask him? Here he is.
I feel like it's a missed opportunity, if not.
Well, speak to him now.
Hey,
Hal.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I saw some great pictures of you in an oversized coat in London, but we haven't got time to get onto that.
Could have been a bin bag.
How have you made much of a thing of the fact that Halloween has got Hal in it, so it could be all about you?
Well, it is because I steal everybody's sweets.
Well, what I'm thinking is,
Hang on, he sells everyone sweets.
What do you mean you sell everyone sweets?
You know,
what?
he steals them.
Yeah, steals.
Yeah.
Well, you did
Right.
have a Halloween-themed birthday party last year, didn't you?
Did you?
Yeah,
I mean,
and a light fell on somebody.
Well, yeah.
What I'm thinking
right,
is,
okay,
we
I think
start a
that's enough. I think
campaign.
that's enough of my
What
son.
did he just say?
oh no, hang on.
right, okay,
I need
no,
Hal.
right, so,
I've got a pumpkin-related Hal story. Because I popped over last year around about this time, and I seem to remember there were some pumpkins being grown in a patch of horse manure.
Oh yeah.
It's actually called horse poo.
Yeah.
Actually,
There's
of
no
course,
left now.
officially. And I'm pretty sure Hal then tried to sell me some pumpkins that were grown from the pumpkin patch.
Oh yeah, I remember them for 50.
50p each. Yeah,
Okay.
Quite the entrepreneur.
Tragically, none grew this year spontaneously.
I just wonder if we don't start a campaign for everyone to go around, rather than maybe up it from the bin bags, and everyone just wear a mask of your son.
Yeah, we could do that. Or Matilda, what do you think about Halloween, Matilda?
It's good because you get free sweets.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Does Matilda go round the dark streets of your village in a bin bag?
No, she's gone now.
I mean, you can answer. You should know what your daughter's doing at night.
No, she doesn't.
Okay. Right. What does she wear? What does she wear?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea, quite honestly.
I hope she's not one of those just going around and not even making an effort and just walking around in normal, like a hoodie, and just.
Well,
not like you, Phil. Not like the real effort makers.
Yeah, she does
exactly.
walk around a lot in hoodies, but and just look menacing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, masks. They'll have masks. I imagine.
Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
And,
Anyway, sorry, Phil. I did interrupt there. My apologies.
Yeah,
you're fine. So the word pumpkin originates from piopon, which means large melon in Greek, and then that evolved to pompon in French and pumpion in Britain, and then the Americans changed it to pumpkin. Yeah, that's what. It's all the Americans again, Mike.
Yeah, sick of it. Coming over here, taking our vegetables and our gourds.
Well, they did actually originate. If you were listening, Mike, you'll have learned that they did actually originate.
Reclaiming their gourds.
Reclaim.
Yeah, so pumpkins are actually, I mean, one of those foods which confuse me, because in this country, at least, no one really likes them, do they? You have to put a lot of flavour in with them to take the taste away.
Yes.
None of you, do any of you go, oh, a nice bit of juicy pumpkin flesh?
No.
I mean, that's not a phrase I've ever used.
No, I knew it.
But it's big in Costa, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about this, and I think we've had a question about it as well. The trend of the pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
Pumpkins aren't spicy, so how does that work? That's number one. Two, no one likes the taste of pumpkin, so why would you put it in a drink?
Yeah, fair.
People buy them because they want to sound cool.
Yeah.
The guy at work. Well, good. Oh, it's pumpkin spice latte season.
It's very the Emperor's New Clothes.
I've had a purple sweet potato latte which tasted like Horlicks. I think we've had this chat before in Hong Kong. I was there and I was like, well, that seems odd. I'll get it. But in this country, it's like trying to become mainstream, and people are like, oh, good, pumpkin spice lattes. Pumpkins aren't spicy, idiot.
Yeah, I bought one last year for my daughter, which it was like a white pumpkin latte, and it cost about £9 or something, and it was horrendous.
Ridiculous. Yeah. A girl who makes exceedingly good cakes, no relation to Mr. Kipling, at my work, she bought in pumpkin cake last week. She said it's just like carrot cake, and on that basis, I refuse to eat it.
Fair.
Yeah, I think if you're using it within like different cookery things like cakes, I think it's slightly different but on its own, it's not very nice. Roast pumpkin. But I find it quite interesting, Phil, that you don't feel that you can combine pumpkin and spice. Is that something you don't agree with? So you're
No,
just you're a single source food eater. You wouldn't
No.
possibly ever because it's perfectly feasible to sprinkle a bit of spice onto a pumpkin.
No, but I don't like them being called pumpkin spiced lattes as if pumpkin was a spice. That is what annoys
Okay,
me.
you're disagreeing with the.
So you want a spiced pumpkin latte? Would that be okay?
Well, it would still be horrible, but as a name, it would make more sense.
Okay.
No one in their right mind in this country, at least, has gone, oh, I just tell you what would be really nice in a coffee is let's put a slab of pumpkin. Yeah, Costa do it, and everyone's all over it, and it's just silly.
So would you prefer to them? Maybe they called it spiced latte with pumpkin, featuring pumpkin, like it's a dance track.
Yeah, I would like that, and then people would go, "Oh, actually, I don't like pumpkins, so I probably won't have that."
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
and,
maybe write a letter, Phil.
Yeah, just they're all at it. I can't be able to write to Starbucks and Costa and copy in the Cafe Nero and all of them. Yeah,
copy and paste.
Well, yeah, no, I appreciate it. I won't need to write 3 individual.
Coffee and paste.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh,
didn't
it's
hear
a
that.
lovely bit of work.
Yeah.
Didn't hear that, but pumpkins are 92% water.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of pumpkins in Tesco's last week, but they were little tiny ones, really teeny tiny. And do you know what they were branded as?
Go on.
Tesco pumpkins.
Tiny pumpkins.
Munchkins. Which I really enjoyed.
But why have you bought them, Lewis? What are you going to do with them? Use them as a display?
Yes, they were in church in the harvest festival.
Lewis, you're not helping things.
You're encouraging the heathens.
No, they're an autumn vegetable.
They are. You know what? 90% of all pumpkins grown, they get picked in October.
Yeah,
because really presumably there are lots of pumpkins throughout the rest of the year that go to waste because they can't only bloom in October.
They can.
Oh, can they?
That's when they're ready. They bloom in sort of June time. I can't believe we're having this conversation again.
Sorry.
And then they're ripe and ready, as
an idiot sandwich.
Tesco's say about their mangoes. At this time of year, that's why pumpkins are associated with Halloween, is because they're ready at this time of year.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
It does. And I don't object to Halloween. What I object to is having to go to those pumpkin patches and pick the pumpkin. Oh dear.
Okay, well, that
is money for old rope.
Yeah. I mean, we have got more to say about pumpkins, but this is leading me into the quiz. So, yeah, my colleague was like, "Oh, tell you what you should do this weekend: go for a walk around a pumpkin patch." Why?
Yeah.
Why? Boggy field full of manky orange pumpkins, which charge a fortune for, and I'm then going to just throw them away.
Yeah.
No,
because what happens is you get a wheelbarrow, and people very enthusiastically fill up that wheelbarrow, and then they get to the checkout and discover that are about to spend £150 on pumpkins, and then tip them all out. So by the checkout, there's always a huge mound of pumpkins that people have discarded, and they just buy the one that they would have bought from Tesco's anyway.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is completely pointless.
Yeah. Amen.
Oh, good stuff. Right. Let's do a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. So, I was going to do, and I shouldn't really tell you this because you'll now say that you'd have preferred it. I was going to do Pumpkin Farmer or Friend of Starmer.
I'd have preferred it.
Brilliant.
No.
Friend of Starmer. I thought you'd be too hot on Friends of Starmer, Mike, so I didn't bother. Yeah.
Very
Obama.
Yeah, they could have done that. So what we're going to do is Pumpkin Patch or Brand of Loft Hatch. So I've got here some. I've been through and I've looked for the top 40 according to the Good Food magazine.
Oh, please.
The top 40 pumpkin patches in the UK.
Yeah.
and then the small handful of loft hatch manufacturers that there are in the world. And you just have to tell me, if I give you a name, whether they are a brand of loft hatch or a popular pumpkin patch.
Okay, well, it's
Simple?
great to have you back, Phil.
Yeah.
This is why he gets paid the big bucks on this podcast.
Yeah.
T or T is suddenly sounding very, very much more cutting edge than it actually was.
Well, let's play the quiz. Let's see. So I will ask the question, and then you can all answer each question, and then you keep your own score. Crucially, keep your own score.
I've got a pen. I'm going to keep all our scores. I'm taking this very seriously. Hit some tension music.
Okay, tension music. Let's go. Okay, Dolly. Is it a pumpkin patch or is it a brand of loft hatch? Harry.
Right, sorry. Once again, I think I've misunderstood. So you're talking about that there's a pumpkin patch called Dolly, or a type of pumpkin called Dolly?
No. It's a pumpkin patch called Dolly, or there's a brand of loft hatch, as in a hatch to get into your loft. Called Dolly.
So you mean
Clues
like
in the name of the game, Harry?
So like
grief.
Dolly Farm? Is that
Yeah.
Okay, right. I've got it. That is a type of loft hatch.
Lewis.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I agree with Harry. Yeah, brand of loft hatch.
I'll mix it up and I'll go patch.
Dolly is a loft hatch manufacturer.
Okay.
We could quicken it up by just saying hatch or patch.
Nice.
Yeah, fine. But or just answering faster. Either's fine. You don't need. Yeah. Bockets. Pumpkin patch.
Bocket with a B.
Bocketts. Bocket. Pumpkin patch or loft hatch? Mike.
Loft hatch.
Lewis.
Patch.
Harry.
Yeah, patch for me as well.
Which one? Sorry, your sound went slightly odd at a crucial moment there.
Patch.
Oh, Harry and Lewis are good at this. It is a pumpkin patch in Surrey. Bocketts Farm. Okay. Arn Pryor. Pumpkin patch or loft hatch? Lewis.
Arn. Well, there's a place called Arn, not too far from us, and you can definitely pick
ARNPRIOR.
Okay.
One word.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go patch.
Hatch for you, Harry.
Hatch.
Hatch for Harry. Mike.
Hatch.
Oh, Mike, you are not good at this. Lewis takes the lead. Arn Pryor is in Stirling. Loch Lomond.
That's not that near to me.
Loch Lomond. Lomond, thank you. Okay, Michael. Glidevale.
Oh yeah, that's a patch.
Go for patch. Harry. Glidevale.
Because that sounds a lot like a hatch, doesn't it? So I'm going, but he's very good at the old double bluff. So I'm going to say loft hatch.
Okay.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Glidevale.
I'm also going to go loft hatch.
It is one of the bigger manufacturers of loft hatches.
Yeah.
Glidevale. Yeah. Everyone needs a Glidevale in their
4
life.
from 4 for Lewis.
Sponsorship is available. Mike, you've got none so far.
Yeah, I'm keeping score. Thank you.
You could do with this next one a broad slap. Is that a loft hatch or is that a pumpkin patch?
Well, this is where I break my duck. That's 100% a patch.
Broad slap. You're saying patch. Okay,
Yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, that's a patch.
Harry.
So it was loft hatch last time. One of the wonderful things about T or T that we played last time was that Mike did a cup of tea for every single time. For every answer was actually cup of tea, which in terms of variables in the quiz was quite unusual. So you're going to mix it up. So I'm going to say that it's a loft hatch. It's a loft hatch.
It is in fact a patch.
Ah.
Broad Slap Fruit Farm in Perthshire. Yep.
Are they all in Scotland?
No. It's just I was in the Scotland section at this stage. I have actually got loads, but I realised we're going to run out of time. So, Manthorpe.
Is this the last one?
You've got this one and one more. But I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
Mike.
just checking.
Manthorpe. You've got to get one right.
Yeah, I've got one right. Thank you. Got the last one, and it's patch.
Okay. I don't think you did get the last one, but fine. Lewis?
It's a hatch.
Okay. And Harry?
Yeah, no, that's a patch.
Lewis is incredible. He knows his loft patches so well.
If you say nothing else about me, he knows his hatches and his patches.
Right, Lewis.
So this is for a full house.
Full house. Bellis Brothers. Bellis
Ooh.
Brothers. Is that a pumpkin
Ooh.
patch or is that a loft patch? It's a tricky one to end on.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like a loft hatch, but is it some farming brothers somewhere? I'm gonna say it's a hatch.
It's a hatch. Harry, Bellis Brothers.
Well, it's because Lewis is hatch, match, dispatch. That's what he does in his job, isn't it?
Very good.
Do you know what? I didn't actually listen to what you
Bellis,
said, so I'm going to say
Bellis Brothers, yep.
that's a loft hatch.
Michael.
Patch.
It is a patch. Lewis.
Yes.
Oh, Lewis. But still, Lewis, you did very well. We now know your forte.
Is it 'cause I'm cool?
Congratulations on your loft
Thank
hatch
you.
knowledge. And I can tell you, you would have guessed Jupiter Blue, also a loft hatch, and Fat Crow were going to be the other loft hatches. In case you are looking for a loft hatch, I've now given you every one that I could possibly find on the internet. So, who knows where the practice of carving a pumpkin and putting a light in it, a jack-o'-lantern, as it was called, who knows where that's come from?
America.
All right, Mike, what's wrong with the Americans?
Well, they're doing all of this, aren't they? They're taking the lead in all of it. So I'm assuming it's them again.
Okay.
Could be Perthshire, if you're still in the Scotland section.
Well, yeah.
Well, Harry is warmer.
Oh.
It's actually Ireland.
Oh,
Ireland,
To be sure.
lovely.
Irish settlers actually used to carve turnips and potatoes, and then they went over to America, and the Americans were like, well, why are you carving potatoes and turnips when we got these massive pumpkins which no one wants to eat because they're vile, and you can make a lantern out of that. So that's where it came from. It came from the Irish. What's your favorite thing that the Irish have brought to the world?
Me?
Yeah.
Bewitched.
Okay, cool, fine.
First girl band to have 5 consecutive number ones. So
Really?
yeah,
What
with
what
their
were
first
they?
5 singles.
So you've got Sailor V and Blame It on the Weatherman, I'm assuming,
You have.
and then I'm stuck.
Oh well, that's sad. You got Jesse Hold On.
Oh yeah.
Jesse.
Don't Google it,
Hold
Mike.
On.
Don't Google it or play for time. You're meant to be a mega fan.
Oh, Roller Coaster.
Oh yeah.
And then there was one with Ladysmith, Black and Barzo, which is one of the more unusual link-ups in pop history.
Roller Coaster was Ronan Keating, wasn't it?
No, well, they both had a track called Roller Coaster, another one of Ireland's great exports. But
Yeah.
How did Roller Coaster from Bewitched go, Mike?
Come on, the roller coaster, come on.
Okay, thanks.
That one. Yeah.
Lyrically,
Okay.
it didn't sound great. But fair
Well,
enough.
it got to number 1.
So
not me.
pumpkins,
Yeah.
pumpkins, they're a lot bigger in America than they are over here because
Literally?
no, not really. No,
Metaphorically.
yeah, pumpkins are very easy to grow. They're like a weed in that respect. Although Harry couldn't grow any last year or this year or whatever he was saying. But apparently they grow like a weed, so you don't really have to do much to them. They just grow. Is that true, Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
Thanks
You
for
traditionally
that.
grow them on the compost heap because they do like a lot of nutrients, but they also like a good bit of space as well because they can be very big.
Well, the reason they were important for the Americans is that they had what's called the Three Sisters method to growing all their important crops. So they had corn. Obviously, the Americans like growing a lot of corn, beans, and then the pumpkins. And the pumpkins kept lots of moisture in the soil because they covered a lot of soil. The corn gave shade to the beans and the pumpkins, and the beans just grew. But those three were like staple diet for Native Americans, and that's why they kept growing them in America because they were cheap food and easy to grow.
Wow.
Albeit horrible. And have you ever
You can
had...
also grow the beans up the sweet corn. It's a method of doing that.
Oh, really?
So I was cutting in and out there, so you may well have already said this, but you grow the sweet corn likes its feet in the shade, so you grow the squash at the bottom, and then the beans grow up the sweet corn stem.
Well, you remember, you remember that farmer's field, the farmer who threw all the manure into my mum's back garden.
We do remember that.
Yeah, so I remember I was walking in that field once, and there was maize growing in that field, and we were playing hide and seek or something, and I put my hand on a corn. What's it called? Like the actual main bit that goes up. No, the actual stem type. Shaft, stalk. Yeah.
Don't call it a shaft.
Okay. I put my hand on that, and as I put my hand around it, I realized I put my hand around a snake. There was a snake.
Oh, no.
Oh. Do you know what? This is what
horrible.
Really missed. This is one of Phil's tall tales. Something that didn't actually happen, but you have a very distinct memory of it happening.
Yeah, Phil,
no,
I do not remember this, and I am your brother.
But you weren't there.
Ring Kev.
You weren't there. Kev wasn't there. I had other friends that weren't.
Was anyone there?
Thank you. Yeah, probably Pete next door. Probably.
Did the snake talk to you?
No.
No.
Did it sing a song? Trust in me.
No,
was it near the caravan with the deer?
No, it was the other side of the field. Actually, it was the other side of the field. But it was pretty scary. So I got out of there.
And
you got out of there and thought, I'll never tell anyone of this until I'm nearly 40. This is an adventure I need to keep to myself
for the next 30 years.
Through the sessions of therapy, he's well done.
I am mid-30s. Thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure I've told my wife about this, and so
you told your wife you're mid-30s when that's a complete lie?
No, I am mid-30s.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm in 30s. In 30s.
I mean, you might be in your 30s, but you're not mid-30s.
Well, kind of mid-30s. I mean, those who listen to our fantasy football podcast will be aware that Mike likes to stretch the truth. When it comes to this week, denying the fact that he was indecently eyeing up Lindsay Lohan when she was
No. Lindsay Lohan is 6 years my junior, and therefore it was perfectly appropriate for me as a 26-year-old to find her attractive as a 20-year-old when Herbie Rides Again was released.
It's Herbie Fully Loaded, mate.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I did listen to that podcast, I've got to say, and that wasn't the most shocking thing on that podcast this week.
Was it the Andrew Lloyd Webber story?
The most shocking thing was you made absolutely no reference to me being top of the league.
Oh, well done, Harry. Well done.
It hurts, Mike.
Absolutely no reference at all.
Did you hear the anecdote about Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Possibly. I was knocking down our kitchen at the time, but
quickly share it. So
yeah.
So I was.
Andrew Lloyd Webber was at the football.
Well, this is
that
it.
right?
So I stand between the two dugouts at the stadium as the announcer. And
Yes, and I've got another thing to say about that in a minute, but do carry on.
Okay. And I stand. There is the head steward, the head of security, and the floor managers for Sky and Premier League Productions, who broadcast it worldwide. Anyway, at the start of the game, Mick, who works for Premier League Productions, will often turn to me and say, can you look behind me, see if there's anybody you recognise, that maybe I don't, sat in the executive suite, so we can maybe get a shot of them mid-match. And I looked, and as quite often is the case, I couldn't see anybody of note. Until a couple of minutes in, he said, "You're kidding me, Mike? You missed Andrew Lloyd Webber." And I was like, "Well, hold on, get my camera phone ready. I've grabbed a few selfies from the executive box down the years. Michael McIntyre, Sir Bobby Charlton, Stuart Pearce, Gareth Southgate, to name a few. Very excitedly looking around for Andrew Lloyd Webber. Couldn't find him anywhere until I realised I'd misheard, and it was Howard Webb, the head of VAR. So, little disappointing.
Quite a tall story. Quite a tall story. All the excitement over.
And he was holding a snake.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, in that game, and you were standing in the tunnel, I watched Match of the Day, and when your man from Arsenal got sent off and walked down the tunnel, there you were looking very serious.
Well, you have to in that moment. I can't grin, can I?
Apparently, all the Arsenal players kept whispering to him, Harry. Anyway,
they did.
We don't have time for this.
Very sweet, very sweet. Whenever they needed to come past, they didn't just barge past like some players do. When they were coming back and forth from the changing room, they would say, particularly Gabriel Martinelli would say, "Excuse me," sort of whisper in my ear, and then a little touch of the arm, and through he'd go. Lovely. Manners.
Shall we talk, Gabriel Martinelli?
Yeah, a bit like that.
Neither of you can hear that.
Out the way.
Neither of you can hear that. I just
the guy that did Morph.
Michael, I've shushed you with the shusher stick. I've played the Cypriot national anthem, and neither you or Harry can hear it.
He sounded like the guy Hart from Morph.
Tony Hart.
Tony Hart, yeah. Hello, excuse me.
You okay there?
Yeah. Well, Tony Hart. Never realised he was gay. Incredible. just like.
Well, if that's the case, I've got a shocking story to tell you about Julian Clary at some point, mate. But we'll save that for another time.
He wore a cravat on Children's BBC in the 90s, and I just didn't realise. It's a bit like Phil not realising that Halloween's on the same day every year. He thought it was like Easter, He's moved around.
That's what I genuinely thought. Anyway, if in answer to your question, there's 45 different varieties of pumpkin.
Right.
45 include, and some of them have got fun names like hooligan and cotton candy.
Okay.
Don't know why. Yeah. We don't have time to look into it now because Mike started wanging on about Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I feel like cotton candy would be ultimately a disappointment.
Oh, but you get cotton candy grapes, and they taste a bit sweet.
Oh, they do, but they are horrible. It's so confusing. Do you not find the cotton candy grape is a very confusing item?
You buy that with all the cash you've got from your church services. I can't afford to buy cotton candy grapes.
How's that disposal of the Arga out the house going, Harry, this week?
Well, all right, Lewis, if you want to get into it, why do you think of disposing of it? Because I can't afford to run the darn thing.
Cash round.
Oh, dear. It's got very niggly today. Very niggly, Jen. We've got some questions.
Have we got any questions before we finish?
Yes.
Well, yeah, How long have we doing this now? Oh, not even an hour. Blimey.
Listen,
anyway,
we had questions, and you two couldn't hear me playing the Cypriot national anthem and kept talking about Tony Hart and Andrew Lloyd Webber, who is overrated. Not Tony Hart, just Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I've got to tell you, Harry, I think he may, the gaydar may also need to be going off there as well.
What, Andrew Lloyd Webber?
I'm pretty sure.
We don't have time for this now.
Okay.
He's He's in a
This is
relationship
just
with Time to Say
ridiculous.
Goodbye, Sarah Brightman, isn't he?
So was Michael Barrymore.
Don't
Not strictly with
play
Sarah
me,
Brightman.
Finny!
Who is our podcast solicitor when we need advice?
Wasn't that you?
No, don't think it was me.
You do run the village, Lewis. So
yeah.
carry on.
Yeah. So, Zoe, do people eat pumpkins in the UK? Australians eat roast pumpkin and pumpkin soup a lot, and Americans eat pumpkin pie. Is there a reason we don't seem to have a lot to do with it other than carving them at Halloween?
I think because we've got taste, maybe.
Because Costa take them all.
Yeah, fair. But I mean, you could probably do pumpkin soup because if you put enough stock cubes in it, you'll take the taste away.
Yeah,
Or or some sort of seasoning or spices might work.
You don't want to muck around with that. Don't want to muck around. You certainly don't want to add coffee to it.
No,
You know.
I'm not sure there's any coffee in a pumpkin spice latte. But anyway, carry on.
Pumpkins aren't spicy. This is what irritates me so much. Joe says,
Sorry, Phil, who?
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry that I've slightly fallen off the wagon here. I've been trying to control you two. Right, I've got a question from Joe. The irony is, Mike, that you and Harry can't even hear if I've pressed any buttons. So,
No, but there was no pause.
No, but I might have just been talking over her because of time.
Ah, sorry.
I
Well,
wasn't.
that'd be rude.
Well, that would be incredibly rude, and you'd never do that.
I haven't. If we don't eat pumpkin in the UK, why would we want to drink it? Pumpkin spice chai latte sounds like diabetes in a cup. Have you tried it? I think I prefer diabetes in a cup.
Yeah, I would say probably there are more things that you can get from Starbucks that is more diabetes in a cup than pumpkins tea. But I think she's joined the band of merry men here who are not really keen on the idea.
Starbucks slavery, they got in trouble for, didn't they? Starbucks.
Did they? Well,
Isn't it? I mean, sorry, isn't it from Costa? Just to get us back into legal.
Wait, yeah, you can get it these days. You can get it in any coffee shop. They all jumped on the bandwagon.
For someone that was sweating over what a deceased Tony Hart might make of our comments, you're going after some pretty big corporate entities there.
Nah, I think they got. I think they did get. I think if you let me just check. If you can Google the word Starbucks.
Oh, there's somebody at the door. This is exciting. I'm going to pause for a selfie
Your
with
door?
a parcel. Yeah, hold on. It's exciting. I'll ask for a name, shall I? They'll probably ask me for a name first. Hold on. Hello there. Great stuff. Thank you very much. I bottled it.
What a wuss.
Yeah.
He didn't even ask for your name. It would be a bit
He
weird.
didn't ask for a name. Just took a quick picture.
Just one of your fans. One of your fans, Mike. So it says from the reporterbrazil.org.br, in July 2022, a 17-year-old young man was rescued from modern slave labor on the family's coffee plantations. Anyway, there you have it. Another question.
Wow.
But legally, I think I'm fine now. Nick says, does anyone actually like pumpkin pie, or is it just Americans? I've had pumpkin pie.
Did you like it?
I've had it.
I didn't particularly like it. So there used to be a pastor of our church who had a very firm handshake, which that's not a tall tale either. And I had pumpkin pie at his house, and it wasn't very. I wasn't a big fan.
Okay.
Well, I had a monk make me pumpkin pie at a monastery at Thanksgiving, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever had it. There you go.
Is it a savoury thing or a sweet thing?
The sweet thing.
Yeah, pumpkins are sweet and squashes are savoury.
Right.
Are they? Is that the differentiation?
Well, no, but that tends to be the dishes they're used in. You tend to have pumpkins get put in sweet dishes, although maybe a soup. But squashes you tend to get put in savoury dishes. Why, in the UK, do we call squash, as in the drink squash, when it's nothing
You're going to
to do
save that
with
for the squash episode, Phil. Save it for the squash episode.
Fine.
It's coming.
Okay.
Can I ask,
Okay.
what was your pumpkin pie served with, both of you, please?
I think it was like squirty cream.
I think some kind of cream. I think, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that confirms the sweetness. Yeah, fine.
Nick asks, has anyone ever used an alternative vegetable instead of the traditional pumping? If so, what?
I love that.
Yeah, not sure.
I love that as an idea.
Swedes traditionally make me pump, but I mean, we probably don't need to get that either.
I assume he means like carving, and in answer to his question, the Irish, I suppose.
Yeah, they invented it, you know.
Yeah. Finally, the scooping out of pumpkins. The reason I don't like pumpkins is the same reason I don't eat melons. It's that horrible connection between the flesh and the seeds.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. Carving out like because we've allowed the children to carve pumpkins in recent years, and that it's all very fun, and we say, oh yeah, you can scoop out the pumpkin, but the reality is I end up having to scoop out the pumpkin and getting the innards of pumpkin on your hands. I can't think of anything worse to be on my fingers than the innards of a pumpkin or indeed a melon. Write in if you can think of something worse.
No, Phil. No, I can't.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
disgusting.
So...
Have you ever carved a pumpkin, Mike? You strike me as someone who has never carved a pumpkin.
No, got no interest in it whatsoever. Don't want to eat it. Don't want to carve it. Don't want to pick it. Not interested.
Could have just said that at the start and ended the podcast.
Yeah, I'm really.
I feel like in a long-winded way that is what we've covered today.
Yeah,
That and some legal issues. Would anyone like to guess the weight in pounds of the heaviest ever pumpkin and where it was grown? And then we can go.
250 pounds.
Okay, Harry.
Oh no, it's going to be. What did you say? 250?
Yeah.
No, it's going to something like 1,200 pounds.
Okay, Lewis.
Oh well, let's go below the ton. 900 pounds.
This has got biggest Brussels sprout written all over it. What is it? What's the answer?
So the answer is it was grown in Belgium. None of you guessed that, and it was 2,624 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that is big.
I just wanted to comment just very quickly. If anybody's watching on YouTube, they'll have enjoyed Harry playing a game not dissimilar to that scene on Takeshi's Castle, where the contestant runs through swing door to swing door, and occasionally a horrific figure sort of jumps and goes, ah, and then he has to run away and try another door.
Yeah,
he's been doing that
honeycomb maze
throughout the whole recording of this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely half term. I'd just like to say that on Heartbeat in about 1991,
Nick Berry,
Tony Hart with Margot Wilson. Do you remember Margot Wilson?
Not Nick Berry, right? Okay.
No, not Berry from Heartbeat. No. It did a thing about hieroglyphics. I may have told you this before. I may have said this anecdote on this in this podcast before. And he said,
"Was there a snake?
What?
Was there a snake?"
No, there wasn't a snake. You created your own hieroglyphics to create your name, right? And he said you can use body parts. You can use body parts as hieroglyphics.
Oh.
And he revealed that his hieroglyphics for his name is toe, as in the toe on the end of your foot, knee, as in the knee, and then heart, as in a heart shape, right? And I thought,
very clever.
This is brilliant. Tony Hart, he's done it, right? Try it now with your name. How are you going to create hieroglyphics out of your name?
Feel.
No.
So something to do with the hands. Feel.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. I reckon it's the Tony Hart is the only name you can make hieroglyphic body parts out of.
Yeah, you could use like loo. You could do toilet.
Yeah.
Is.
Careful.
And then piercing.
Yeah.
Have a
Okay.
speaking of a spear.
It's not quite as Route 1 as Tony.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, Tony, yeah, all
Yeah.
right. I mean, Tony's played to his strengths. Fair enough. Well done, Tony.
Yeah. Okay.
Well-
and Margot had a T on the end of Margot, which always fascinated me as well.
She was ahead of the time there.
So her name was Margot.
Well, the same as Margot's
But
Robbie.
she claimed it was Margot, obviously French. Anyway, I think we've
Like high-
insulted enough nationalities on this podcast without talking about French.
Yeah, and you know, if you're a Turkish barber and you pay tax, get in touch.
And if any Loftatch companies want to sponsor a podcast, we've shouted you all out.
chipadvisorpod@gmail.com.
We
Thank
can
you
do
very
a
much.
Scottish special if that helps.
Yep, happily. It's no point a pumpkin patch sponsoring us. By the time this goes out and the next one goes out, they're going to have missed their market, really.
Oh,
Right.
but long-term listeners will.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry, I'm just in the luxury of not working. Long-term listeners will remember we questioned the mortality of Brian Turner, the chef from Ready Steady Cook.
Yeah.
I did email him via the contact us on his webpage, asking if he'd like to do a special guest appearance on our food-based podcast. Yet to have a response, and that was some weeks ago. So, Brian, if you're listening, please do get back in touch.
If he is still alive, hopefully he is.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, bye everyone. Have a good week.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.